on June 7th. The countdown is in game, should be in game when you log in, so in the lobby and also on the map. And it looks like we've also got an official time for Season 3, so downtime for Season 3 should start 10 p.m. Eastern. And apparently there's going to be a downtime screen after the live event, so there will be some downtime in between, but the new season will release basically the same day as the live event, June 7th. Okay, let's talk about those live event spoilers. So here is what we know about it. The live event will have 6 phases. This thing's going to be pretty big. Your skin will be replaced with a stormtrooper, and the only thing that will remain is the head of the outfit that you're wearing, right? So everything else will change. The stormtrooper, face thing at your face, your head. Depending on the size of your skin, it will be adjusted for regular, medium, and extra large stormtrooper armor. So yeah, I guess, right, there's some bigger skins, smaller skins, and they've got armor that fits everybody. I like that. I'm a fan of that. Here are the NPCs. So there's going to be a couple NPCs in the event that we know about so far. We've got Jones, we've got Hope, and then we've got Fish Stick. And you can kind of get an idea of how it's going to work as the NPCs are dressed in the Stormtrooper outfit, which is their head showing. So this is how everybody's going to look, including yourself in the event. Some things that we know about, text in the files that reference some things that'll be happening during this. Hit, Columbus Hit event, killed ships, communication.
La marca Prosecco is made for special occasions.
And turret firing. And we learned a little bit more about this here from Lulo. The event will have multiple objectives. For example, destroying a communication tower, destroying asteroids, destroying a launch bay, and more. This could mean that it might be similar to Fracture, which basically a longer event where we're doing all these different tasks. However, we got more info a little bit later, same tweet here, that this could just be stuff for the pre-event only, right? Fracture was cool, but a lot of people were, I don't know, not too happy with it because it was just, felt like 40 minutes of just kind of a mini game that started to get a little bit old, where it is fun gameplay, right, where we're interacting with things, that can be fun, but I think if you drag it on too long, it ruins the excitement, the hype a little bit. So we're not 100%. It could be Fracture-like. I don't think they're going to go down that road again. More likely, it's going to be the pre-event, the build-up, and then we'll go into whatever they have in store for us. Some other stuff here. A couple of the texts or voice lines we're going to hear from Stormtrooper. Hey, you, stop dancing, move along. Hope, I don't know about you, but I'm taking this helmet off. Jones, hit the ground running. Don't give anyone a chance to ask questions. And Hope, looks like we all made it. And the final spoiler here, looks like an Imperial troop transport might be appearing in the Star Wars Sabotage event. And that's all we know for now. Of course, subscribe to your noties on as we learn more. I will talk to you about more. But there's some other stuff outside of the event I want to talk about first. Bubble Chat is now in Fortnite Creative. That was part of the announcement today. Also, these new weird, they're called graph cuffs. These are in the files. This is official. This is the photo that's attached to them. They have been added today. Official name for them and more references in the files. So it's a new cosmetic type. And yeah, it's a little weird just based on this photo, right? I don't know if I'm getting the right idea here, but might be a bracelet, maybe. However, they are called cuffs. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to sell it for. I don't know how it's actually going to look. But it's weird. It's coming soon. I'll keep you updated. Fortnite's also adding some sort of matchmaking delay to specifically avoid stream sniping. Doesn't affect too many people, but just so you know. Now, there weren't any new skins this update. By the time this video is out and I'm asleep, the Sith Rey skin will be decrypted. That's our last Star Wars skin of the season. People are a little upset about this, by the way, because, I mean, there's just so many other skins we didn't get to see. I wish they went a little bigger. I like the skins they added. I just wish they did more. But, yeah, we are getting Sith Rey. And there's just no look at her yet when I'm filming this video. It should be decrypted in about 4 hours from the time I'm filming this. But we do have some other skins that are coming out here. The Administrator and the Ferrari skins dropping soon. all Street Fighter and Fortnite skins will be returning soon as well. And that's really it. I'm going to show you a quick video here. There's a Quicksilver Baton Spear. That's new. And then I want to play all the brand new emotes for you quickly as well. Here they are. So, you guys, thanks for watching. Touch the like button, go to Camp Cruncher. Take care, talk soon, goodbye. We've got 5 days to go until the live event, and then, of course, the end of the Star Wars season and the start of Season 3. So today, we have tons of news to go over. I'm going to start with a bunch of Season 3 stuff. So what's going on? First, teasers from Fortnite officially, and then the live event. We've got some spoilers in this one, so I will warn you when those are coming up. Some free stuff. Stick around. So, Season 3. We have not talked about this part in a while, but it's like the biggest part, and that is the, let's call it the rumored content, but it is from an inside source that basically every big leaker is backing up. So here's what we know. Superhero Academy theme, and Midas is going to be involved in this somehow. This is basically confirmed and happening. It's a superhero season, and it's going to be custom Fortnite superheroes, but also some other collab superheroes as well. Superman skin and a mythic ability is supposed to be part of this. Robin, Dago, and Storm Beast are the known battle pass skins, and kind of the ones that people are referencing, right? We know them to be in the season, and they're probably going to be in the past. There's also this skin as referenced by a code name for the battle pass, so we actually know more than half of it if all of these are correct. One Punch Man will be in Shock Collab. The Fortress of Solitude will replace Meadows, and there's a new Utopia City, which will be replacing Seaport City. So that's kind of the big stuff that came in that insider document. And just, yeah, a reminder, according to the leaked document, Robin should be part of the Battle Pass next season. Batman and Robin, right? That's the Robin we're talking about. And a new NPC file also named Robin was added to the file, so this just like further confirms that this is happening as well. And the more stuff that's confirmed that this insider got right, the more we can kind of believe all the other stuff as well, right? So here's a new one though that came out in the last day or so from Lulo. Rumor, upcoming gameplay feature maybe has leaked. Next season we may get a new gameplay feature known as Spire Public Events or Spire Raids. These will probably involve us working together to fight off a group of monsters or something like that. Same source as the document leak, so good chance this is happening, but we don't know as much about this one. Upcoming Season 3 NPC leaked as well. A new specialist NPC, codenamed Spatial Travel, should be releasing next season. Maybe some sort of superhero-themed NPC that travels around. Who knows? All we really got is the codename here. And here's the Fortnite teaser that came out today. The Superhero Academy season teaser. The skins Fortnite is using in their latest tweet are meant to tease, of course, the new season dropping later this week. And, you know, we do know a lot, but I feel like there's still a lot to be kind of unpackaged here over the next week. So I'm looking forward to Fortnite's official teasers. We'll probably start getting them daily here throughout the week. So make sure you subscribe, turn your noties on. I will keep you updated as more news starts to come out as we get closer and closer here. Reminder, there's also the companions thing. Now, this may not be next season, but it's the newest cosmetic coming to Fortnite soon. And it's basically like a pet. A little update on this, so it should happen next season, but maybe they're going to delay it a little bit here. Epic has started preparing for the companions introduction. This one right here is the chameleon one that has facial expressions as well. So further proof, they're still grinding this out, and if it's ready in time, it could be in the Battle Pass next season. Upcoming Shogun Island update. It looks like the Shogun Island is now set to be removed by Season 4. However, it is likely that it will receive some sort of change for next season before its eventual removal. Kind of just a fun fact here, rabbits and bears were supposed to come out as wildlife in Chapter 4. I don't know why it ever didn't happen, and it doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future, but just so you know, right? A little random fun fact. And then a not so fun fact, or maybe a fact you might not even care about, because this is one of the least popular modes in Fortnite, and that is Fortnite OG Run. It is getting removed next season. It doesn't have enough players, so I assume most of you watching this do not care. There's a couple out there, so that's your favorite mode, but there's just not enough people to support this, right? So it's going away, and it's going away for good. Okay, this is your live event spoiler warning. There's a little bit more spoilers in this 2 minutes of the video here than usual. So I do have a little bit at the end of the video that's outside of this, so if you want to skip ahead. But if not, here we go. There's your warning. So, Hope and Jones, during the event on Saturday, are going to be using us as fake prisoners to get into the Death Star. A grab cuff string was added for the event, so cuffs will probably be part of the disguise, okay? So maybe that's why we saw the handcuff photos get added to the files. It might not be for a weird cosmetic. It's instead going to be a prop for part of this, the main part of this live event. So there's one. Reminder, I did tell you about this spoiler, that our skins' bodies will be replaced with Stormtrooper armor during the event, but you will still have your head. So here is an example. The armor will adjust based on the size of your skin. So you can kind of see Peter Griffin here in a Stormtrooper outfit is quite the look. So choose wisely whether you want to be silly with it or maybe look a little cool with it. Everyone is going to be looking like this. Your head showing, but Stormtrooper armor taking over your body. The lot then consists of 2 main parts, objectives and missions, and then a space battle. The objectives part will be similar to Fracture, but it's likely just going to be the pre-event only. So the playlist is going live 2 hours early, and then the space battle is probably the main event. It'll be shorter, not drawn out. So yeah, the pre-event, I like that they're doing it this way, right? The objective thing, I think, is great. But I also think if it's kind of forced to be long for everybody, that's when people start complaining, as we did with Fracture. But if there's all these cool objectives, missions that you can hop in 2 hours before and start grinding it out before the official event starts, you know, kind of best of both worlds there, in my opinion. There's going to be 2 teams in the event. The Empire versus the Republic, of course. You get points for completing objectives, different objectives for each team. And it's unclear, like, are we going to be able to choose our side during the event, before the event, or is it going to be random? We'll have to wait and see. Here's all the objectives and the missions for the pre-event that have been leaked. Destroy asteroids, communication tower, deflector shields, space debris, use turret, use X-Wing, use Imperial TIE Fighter, and destroy the launch bay. There's probably going to be more, but that's what's been leaked so far. And the event will have actual voice lines. It's not just going to be text. Some of the ones that are leaked already, Hope will say this: prisoner convoy requesting permission to land, and then Jones, hit the ground running. Don't give anyone a chance to ask questions. And then Hope, looks like we all made it. I don't know about you, but I'm taking this helmet off. And then the Stormtrooper, hey you, stop dancing, move along. There, again, could be more, but this is what's leaked so far. And then finally, there will be a leaderboard in the event. You get points for completing objectives. Each player needs a minimum value of points to be placed on it, and it shows the different scores of players from the Empire and the Republic team. So the more I learn about this, the more spoilers we read, it does get me more excited. This seems very cool. I can't wait to see what the visuals look like when we get into the Death Star. So it's going to be a fun time. I can't wait for Saturday. And then plus, right afterwards, there'll be a bit of downtime, and then we're heading into the season. Another news, it's been confirmed that the free games program on the Epic Games Store will continue to exist in 2026. So if you're not using Epic Games Store, I mean, I know there's problems with it, just reading other people's reviews who play a lot of games. I know this free games program is one of the best things out there, right? They're just trying to lure customers in to join in with the store, and I mean, giving people games for free is a good way to do that. So that's going to keep happening into 2026. Some upcoming cosmetic leaks that you should know about. There's a new code named Buma in the files. It's probably a collab. We don't know much else other than that. An upcoming female skin, codename Tidal Ninja, should be coming. This is probably for the Fate remix skin with the Season 4 OG pass, right? We still have the Season 4 OG pass, and OG launching the same day as Season 3, right? It's a big weekend here coming up. And then, of course, we got an upcoming original skin codename Slice Sprig. Should also be on its way, and it'll include a Fall Guys and Lego style. This will be for the new Apple skin, which is known as Pi Patron. Another free Apple skin because Fortnite is back, and they should be rewarding us here with maybe a tournament. For sure a skin, it's just whether it's going to be free or not. It's probably going to be free based on how they did the first skin when the battle began. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. You guys subscribe, click the camera, take care, talk soon. Good. Bye.
He's not some people like that. Choosing the video I made debunking the idea that one of the hostages in GTA 5's prologue can be seen 9 years later as a manager of the Union Depository during the Subtle Beast-Store heist. In the original Paulie made sure that was the source of this idea, there was no particular emphasis placed on who the bank manager in prologue was meant to be, leading to me and singly more other people, including it was the guy closest to the camera. Future edits of the short also seem to emphasize this. Hell, this version with 1 million views and 100,000 likes even puts an arrow on that particular hostage. GTA Guru, however, made a video arguing that the other hostage in the bank actually became the bank manager of the Union Depository. So, their hair color is now the same, and GTA Guru makes some additional arguments in favor of this claim. We start in familiar territory, as the primary evidence of these two being the same person is that the prologue hostage and bank manager look similar, differences being attributed to the 9-year time skip, and that the manager seems to hesitate when looking at Trevor's license before letting the crew progress. This hesitation suggests to believers that he recognized Trevor's face from 9 years ago, but said nothing out of fear of being killed. Immediately, the observants among you would say that this makes no sense, as Trevor wore a mask during the prologue heist, which obscured his identity. While he did eventually take it off,
If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die breathing right. You wanna look at the face of death? Be my guest.
this was outside, away from the hostage, and even the very low-quality cameras, which are maybe not even relevant as their footage was meant to be deleted, but this was cut, likely due to it slowing the pace of the mission.
Hey, we gotta torch the service. Come on. Yeah, got it.
However, you could counter that due to the trauma of the event, the hostage would be more motivated than most to live what Trevor looked like once the failed Ludendorff heist and subsequent events was reported on in the media. Yet I think we can infer that Trevor's face wasn't revealed to the public. Not only was the crew very careful to maintain their anonymity prior to the Ludendorff heist by using aliases wearing masks and always being on the move,
Uncle always was a bit of a pussy. We'd do a job, and he'd want to leave town right away. Friends, contacts anywhere.
but even after the failed heist, it wasn't clear that their status really changed. Trevor walking around a populated city throughout the game without being recognized was evidence of this, and also, neither Michael or Trevor showed any concern going near TV cameras during the mission Fame or Shame. That they were willing to show their faces after all during the bank robbery, even if it was to be their last, again affirms the lack of concern by the characters that they might be recognized due to their past. GTA Online also gives us more evidence that this face isn't easily identifiable as one part of the past infamous heist crew. 4 months prior to the start of single player, when Trevor is set up by the Drug Enforcement Agency, they did not appear to recognize him as a murderer and bank robber from ages past. They would simply have arrested him for all his past obvious crimes, instead of attempting to get him to admit to selling cocaine as if he was just another dealer from Blaine County. Michael and Trevor's multi-million-dollar 10-year crime spree is not one that would be easy to forget. After all, Dave's supposed stopping of it single-handedly was worthy of being put in all the newspapers.
You remember after the bust, I was in all the papers. I was on the evening news.
It just seems that the deeds of a faceless truly infamous. The public may have known their deeds and perhaps their names, but not what they look like. GTA Guru doesn't dispute any of this, but puts forth a scenario by which specifically the hostages would have learned what Trevor looked like after the heist, whilst people living in Los Angeles and Blaine County did not.
There is a glitch in GTA Online that allows you to get into the interrogation room where there is a picture of Trevor taken directly after the heist. This establishes that there is a glitch in GTA Online that allows you to get into the interrogation room where there is a picture of Trevor taken directly after the heist. This establishes that Trevor's identity was known to the police. But why wasn't it made public? Well, they always concealed their identities in the other rooms, and Louisville, North Yankton is just a small town, so news of this incident didn't reach Los Santos from Lake County. Directly after the robbery, police would have interviewed the bank employees and shown the picture of Trevor.
I did cover the existence of these pictures in episode 48 of my Facts and Ritual series, which I'll now show as I introduce some good context. There's something very strange in the GTA Online character creation room. This room, as I've shown before, is located below the map in single player. One of the rooms in this area is where a witness would pick out someone from a lineup. All the individuals would stand in this room, and the witness would stand behind the one-way glass to make their selection. In this case, on the other side of the one-way glass, there is a table with a constantly steaming coffee cup, but more importantly, a file on Trevor. It has his fingerprints with a picture of him, but it's just a flip still from one of the prologue cutscenes. I specifically left these images out of the original video because I don't think they're canon. Yes, they exist in the game, but as far as we can tell, they're a joke, cut concept from an early version of the game, or an Easter egg. This book exists as a shadow generic prop where you make a character in GTA Online, might be therefore a repurposed assets. The idea that these pictures are meant to be meaningful is undercut by their only being accessible if you glitch or mod yourself under the map and through invisible walls. More importantly, if this screen grab from the prologue cutscene is meant to be a real picture in the game, who the hell is meant to have taken it and why? The gang crashing their car into the tree was unexpected, so no one could have been prepared to take this picture. Dave was in the area and did know they were coming that way, but he believed himself to be about to shoot and kill Trevor, at which point he would then be free to take whatever pictures he wanted. Dave obviously had no reason to want to risk the plan by being seen taking a picture from the necessary location and then sprinting to the other side of the area to take his shot. We would also assume that anyone taking photos here would also have taken photos of Michael as well, which in Guru's scenario would have been shown to the prologue hostages. But the bank manager doesn't recognize Michael. Guru's attempt to justify why these pictures are unknown to anyone, including law enforcement, in Los Angeles Oakland County is quite weak. Asserting that news of the events in prologue should never reach Los Angeles Oakland County is in fact strange, considering the pictures he is putting his case on are found in an inaccessible building in Los Santos. It is important to keep in mind that Trevor and Michael's exploits ranged from murder to robbery over a 10-year period and did not localize itself to one area. They were obviously in the big leagues. Michael Townley had fucking fans, as we see with Norm, one of the crew members who can take on jobs.
Michael DeSanto. Right? Just say, you're the reason I got in the game, man. You're my inspiration. You're my champion. Talking about it. So stop talking. Cool, man. As you can see, me, us, Michael, I can give up my take for the experience of working with you, Mr. Townley. You're my hero. You know, you always have been. And being Michael Townley, I'd do anything.
Norm also explained that he learned of Michael's death was immediately also interesting.
What was your first bank score? Pretty up like when it was, the day you died. See, you were a hero of mine. Hero. The original outlaw. I was at home with my wife. 3 brats, and they see the news. Michael Townley's dead. And I think MT wouldn't have taken this shit. Kids crying. I get up, I walk out. And then I'm taking on this warehouse I know about for 10 grand in cash. Man, shit, that fucking high. The rush. I hole up in a motel room, get some coke, some young hookers, real young, like where the line. And man, I never looked back. Never saw my family again, never paid another bill. Best thing I done. And it's all thanks to you. Wow. Michael. Inspiration.
The original outlaw, the late great Michael Townley, as he is referred to by so many. The day Michael went down, his and Trevor's faces, if they were available, would have been plastered on every bit of media imaginable. I reiterate, Michael and Trevor were not small timers. They were working with Lester at this time, and he of all people was not setting up basic heists for them to do in the middle of nowhere. The small heist in Ludendorff was outside the norm for them, and Lester wanted nothing to do with it.
Unless you told us not to do that job,
he did it anyway. Michael sort of took Brad and Trevor as the easiest heist ever, basically free money, while in reality he was only doing it to give a controlled yet public stage for Dave and Michael's scheme. If these pitches were real, obviously they would have reached people in Los Santos and Blaine County, especially if Trevor would have been an escaped mass murderer on the loose in this scenario. So any pitch to them would have been shown everywhere. Again, this would make it a tad bit confusing why Trevor isn't recognized by anyone throughout the entire game, and why Trevor never acts in the story like he could be recognized by law enforcement. For fuck's sakes, he walks into a police station on one mission and is not worried in the slightest. This police station even being the one implied to have the fake room from the GTA Online character creator. Keep in mind that Trevor is not mentioned even once as having been captured and later escaping from the police after prologue. You could also guarantee this would be the very thing Trevor would blame Michael for, and therefore something guilt to him over throughout the game. Despite this, Trevor never mentions it. Lester and Michael also would have learned of Trevor being captured. Lester specifically kept tabs on Trevor, but they too don't mention it. I think it is clear that these photos are not canon, and that Guru's story doesn't make much sense. Moving on, Guru's argument that the bank manager recognizes Trevor doesn't rely just on these pictures being canon.
The bank manager forces you to recognize the photo of Trevor from Northampton. Why else would Rockstar put that photo of Trevor from Prologue, if not to make the connection between Prologue and the end mission?
Guru believes there must be a calculated reason why Trevor's ID shows an image of him from Prologue, and that reason is to suggest that these two characters are the same. Guru therefore believes a writer at Rockstar assumed the player base would remember a background character from the start of the game by the time they reached the end, that they would ignore that his character at no point saw Trevor's face on screen, that it clipped into an inaccessible area to find an impossible photo and assume that this photo was shown to the Prologue background character off screen, and just ignore the plot inconsistencies this photo creates. That, despite physically being unable to see the character up close during normal gameplay, they would still manage to see the vague resemblance between the two characters. They would then bring this all together and assume the Prologue hostage would obviously within 3 seconds instantly recognize Trevor from a low-quality image that he saw once 9 years ago, which they'd assume could be the only possible explanation for a momentary pause that a character has for giving absolutely no indication for the rest of the mission that he recognized Trevor. I would assume such a writer, after devising such amazing subtlety, would exclaim, "Yes! Yes! Surely they will understand my brilliance!" No shade towards GTA Guru, but I don't believe it, and I find this silly. You know what Rockstar would have done if they had wanted to make a subtle connection between the Prologue hostage and the bank manager? They'd even just once have had the hostage see Trevor's face in Prologue. The use of this photo doesn't need a story reason, in the same way Casey's ID having Michael's face on it doesn't need a reason either. But it is possible that it could have originally been intended to be used in the earliest, slower version of the Prologue heist, that was later repurposed for the big score heist. This would also explain why the IDs were out of date. Yes, they are out of date for a heist set in 2013, but they would not be out of date for a heist set in 2004. We do know for certain that they move around some assets between missions after all, so it has a bit more backing than a writer playing four-dimensional chess with the story. If you further want to push me for an in-universe explanation for that picture being used by the crew, that picture would likely be the last picture Trevor would have had made before he went on the run. Obviously, I do think it'd be quite silly to not just make new IDs, but Trevor using that name and an out-of-date ID is also generally pretty stupid. So finally, if the bank manager didn't recognize Trevor, why did he pause while looking at his ID? People, the ID, and Trevor for that matter, look weird. But also having a dramatic pause is a common trope to build suspense in every form of media, and that is likely all Rockstar was doing. People are reading far too much into a pause, especially considering that we would have to ignore everything else the manager does for the remainder of the heist.
How's things? I'm in the crew. It's an absolute B-star CH today. And you gentlemen have to sit in those trucks bored at the client staring more money than you know what to do with.
He would have had so many opportunities to flag that something was amiss if he recognized Trevor, but he did not do so. The manager does not show hints of fear, which makes no sense if he just recognized the mass murderer moments ago. The manager instead engages in small talk, jokes around, and seems completely at ease.
So, you know what to do? Uh-huh. Gentlemen. Oh, we're just solely on for the Chinese. Oh, everyone keep it in the United States. Take what you can carry. Got many jobs, decades?
No, it's the last one. This is compared to Casey, who had never seen Trevor before and yet is barely holding himself together.
Hey, I'm not feeling so well, and
Hey, suck it up. Guru, however, has an explanation for this apparent inconsistency, citing his job position at the bank as reason why he does show any sign of his recognition of Trevor.
Because from the bank manager's perspective, this is an armed robbery. And according to the police, during an armed robbery, it is important to remain calm, assess the situation, and do exactly as the offender says. Then, only when it is safe to do so, raise the alarm. He remained calm so as to not aggravate them and endanger himself and his fellow employees.
This is a strange argument to make, as Guru is both arguing that the bank manager was so traumatized 9 years ago that he instantly recognized Trevor, but also that the bank manager is able to show absolutely no fear despite seeing a mass murderer again because the rules of his job say to stay calm. Further arguing that he'd be especially motivated to do this because he would want to keep his staff safe. So first off,
We've
that is
entered
not
the
how people
atmosphere.
work. What kind of person
Use your optics to pinpoint the enemy's position.
Every biological impulse from resentment group of murderers who are robbing them for $200 million. Besides, the bank manager didn't blink an eye when Casey cried for help and instead let him go. If the bank manager had reason to believe these people to be murderers, he basically just sent Casey to be killed, as that is what such people would normally do to a witness would seem too much. In fact, the only reason Trevor didn't kill Casey like he wanted to was because Michael intervened. GT Guru is arguing both that the bank manager wants to protect his staff and that he sent Casey to die. That doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, Rockstar had absolutely no reason to be so subtle that the only thing out of place in the entire heist is the trope of a dramatic pause when looking at IDs. There is not a single wink, a single suggestion from the bank manager that he was aware that anything was out of the ordinary. We get even more evidence of this after the heist, as there would be no reason for the bank manager to keep his recognizing of them a secret. He would obviously give a report about why he acted as he did, and yet the reports after the heist make no mention of the manager recognizing Trevor and affirm that they were sincerely fooled.
someone was hijacked by my car. Convince the bank workers to keep them the precious money.
I am certainly beating a dead horse here. The prologue hostage and the manager don't even really look similar. They're just generic unnamed character models. The hostage is just one of several entities called Prologue Post-Mail and can even be given the name Bob or Tim as he is so insignificant. The bank manager is just called Bank Manager and again shows no association with any of the Prologue Post-Mails. Rockstar is also not above reusing the same character model for clearly different characters. During the jewel store heist, a parking attendant tries to have Franklin move his bike and is thrown to the ground by Michael. It turns out that one of the corrupt FIB agents helping Dave and Steve relocate Mr. K at the end of Three's company uses the same character model. Rockstar could literally have put the hostage from Prologue directly into the Big Score heist, and that still wouldn't necessarily mean they were meant to be the same person. Also, their eyes are a different color. 9 years doesn't turn blue eyes brown. So you have two choices. You can believe they are the same person using a massively convoluted explanation that leads to contradictions and plot holes in the story, or you can accept that they're not the same person and that everyone who thinks otherwise simply forgot that Trevor wore a mask in Prologue. And with that, I wish you all the best. Michael just said something. More like Michael, the guy with a lot of facts and pictures, am I right? Yeah, I'm right. It's not playing this video. The video is Michael's facts and pictures. You can see right there. Strange things happen when you back a truck into Michael's garage, leave the area, and then come back. During the mission complications, Simeon will refuse to find Michael if he goes outside, and instead will simply taunt him, telling him to come back.
Get away from this. I thought it would be a conversation. I'm not man enough to finish this. Where are you going?
It turns out, however, that the game considers you to be inside if you are right behind the back door. This results in a confusing scene where Simeon will rush to Michael eager to fight, only to run away again if Michael moves too far away from the door as he seeks to return to the showroom floor.
Where are you going? Coward.
It is also the case that if Michael is not somewhere that the game considers to be inside, he cannot do any damage to Simeon. In other words, if there is a yellow dot on the map directing Michael back inside, Simeon cannot be hurt.
You recognize this car?
The Mission 3's company had a very cool glitch that I'm surprised I didn't know of before. When you regain control of Michael, who is propelled down the side of the building, if you rapidly tap your weapon as if before it, you'll be given momentum. This can enable you to literally float through the building. There does not seem to be any limit as to how far you can go. While your rope physically appears tethered to the helicopter above, it doesn't actually do anything, and so will stretch as far as you go. Even better, you don't need to go into the building. You can float away from it. I flew as far as Franklin, who was sniping to give Michael cover. If you don't switch to Trevor and allow the struggle with the guard to run its natural course, it ends in a pretty funny way. On prologue, you are unable to shoot your ally. Natural course, it ends in a pretty funny way. On prologue, you are unable to shoot your allies, except through a small hole for some reason. Let's do this. Weirdly enough, when switching between barefoot and slippers with Michael, you can visibly see that the game increases his leg length instead of making them shorter. In the second phase of the Bureau Raid mission, if you look over at Michael while controlling Franklin, he'll be bugging out for some reason. It's a shame that I can only record this in 60 FPS, because when I'm looking at it when I'm playing the game, he flickers a lot faster than this. It is possible to be driven around by Michael's family should you see them about to get into a vehicle.
Yes.
It is possible to get your game into a glitch state. Right after the mission complications, if you switch to Franklin, drive near Michael with his ability, and then switch back to Michael, the game will be stuck in slow motion. Playing with this effect makes it obvious, but I will show a comparison to normal gameplay for your benefits. This effect even persists through getting arrested or wasted, but attempting to use an ammunition removes the effect. Michael's garage begins to close when he ragdolls. Michael's gate, for whatever reason, stops moving if you accept a taxi job.
Hey, dispatch, got any work for me? Cancel that. Something came up.
The gate at Michael's house opens when you get the cops on you. It can then sense when you lose the cops and will thus close. Looking up at the roof above the stairs in Michael's house shows that he is meant to have a skylight. On top of his house, however, there is no space for this skylight. In this corner in Michael's garage, you'll be able to find the scuba gear that Michael uses during the mission Monkey Business after it is complete. After you complete the mission Bury the Hatchet, you can find the tickets that Michael used to fly to North Yankton on his table, and they remain there for the rest of the time you play the game. Sometimes when you switch to Michael, you will find him in his living room with his family. Oddly, if you sit down and watch TV, they will disappear. This is in direct contrast to sleeping, for example, where if a man is in the bed, she will stay there even after you wake up.
The traffic like you around, it's such to be a cycle.
On the mission Did Somebody Say Yoga, there is a cutscene with Michael involving aliens, which concludes with him flying over Los Santos. If during this sequence you fly and land in Michael's pool, Michael will wake up with his shorts being wet. This is strange considering that no other body of water achieves this effect, just the pool at his house.
Jimmy, you little shit. Jimmy, you little shit.
On the mission Derailed, Michael is immune to fire when he's looking for valuables in the train wreckage.
He's here, bro.
On the mission Legal Trouble, if Michael uses his special ability immediately after chasing Molly, it will screw up her pathing. This worker will not begin to move until Molly gets here, so if you move past her, he'll be simply frozen. Given enough time, Molly will eventually teleport back to her normal path. Rather than waiting for her to teleport, it is possible to push her back onto her path. Despite Michael and Trevor not having any side missions with Tanya, it is still possible to go meet her with either character and hear some unique dialogue.
Let me ask you a question. You get a lot of fitness using those lines? Take care of it.
Wait, I'm actually fit. I'm like a big boy.
One error does exist in her responses. If you bump into her enough, she will call Michael or Trevor Franklin. When you switch to Michael, he can be walking past some women on the street. For some reason, he'll be quite resistant to being punched over. While under normal circumstances, it is not possible to use Michael's special ability when you're in a car. If when loading into the game or switching characters, you press the special ability button at the right time, you'll be able to use it anyway. Trevor and Michael's special abilities can't normally be used in vehicles. The exception to this is if you walk into a vehicle when both the doors are blocked. The ability will turn off automatically if you try to leave the vehicle. At the end of Did Somebody Say Yoga, most people when they reach Michael's house would simply go to the yellow dot. However, if you walk around the house, Michael will call for his family asking where they are. Of course, they recently abandoned him.
I'm home. Anyone here? Kids? Tracy? Prince? Oh, Jimmy? Bonnie? decided to move out.
The truck Michael uses to chase after the tennis pro in the mission marriage counseling is from McGill Olson Construction. Michael claims it just belongs to someone who is working on his house, but it is possible that this person was working for the FIB to keep an eye on Michael. At the end of the Mission 3's company, a McGill Olson Construction vehicle is used to take Mr. K. There are also more vehicles from other maintenance companies in the lot that are also being used by the FIB. This could of course just be coincidence. The guy working for Michael could have just been an ordinary construction worker. But did you know that McGill Olson and other maintenance vehicles are used by the FIB? On prologue, if you are in first person with Michael when you attempt to blow up the explosives, his phone will appear to be a silver color. In third person, however, the phone will appear to the screen will be black, even if the phone in his hand will still look like it's silver. Perhaps it's a trick of the lights, but I could not find any reflection where it would change.
We gotta do this.
During Michael's grassroots mission, Michael has to fight off some aliens that are probably hallucinations. If he takes too much damage, he gets vaporized. But if he attempts to leave the area, there is a somewhat humorous fail notification. At the end of the mission Cabo Libre, Trevor drives away with Michael and Patricia to go into hiding, and you are forced to switch to Franklin. However, if you use Franklin to return to your previous location, Trevor and Patricia will be gone, and Michael will be driving around by himself.
Hey man, we haven't seen you here. We go get a drink or something.
Hey, right now, dude.
See you soon then, man.
It is possible to access Los Santos with Michael before the mission prologue begins. First, while on any save file, load a new game. The timing is tricky for the next part, but a few seconds before you load in, you need to select your online character. I waited until the loading circle had spun 11 times, and then began to hold and release F8 in a rhythm. Attempting to do this too early or too late seems to prevent the glitch. My loading times, of course, will differ from your own, and what key you press depends on your version of the game. When you are asked if you want to go online, of course you select no. This will reveal Michael in Los Santos. The map will be almost completely covered, and if you save your game, you will have a 0% in the beginning save file. And you can even create an autosave with the same name by going into director mode. Unfortunately, after 5 seconds, prologue starts as normal, even if you load these save files. To be honest, your ease of getting this glitch and how long you will spend in Los Santos will depend on how powerful your system is. My system is very fast, so it makes it very difficult to achieve this glitch. If you have seen any speedruns of GTA 5, you'd know that running in any direction during the final prologue shootout will cause the shootout to end and the cutscene to play. One possible reason Rockstar did this is if you actually die during the shootout, Michael will stand up, which kind of gives away that he's still alive. Another possible reason is to prevent you from getting too close to Michael and Brad. Mods can reveal that both have their eyes open and are clearly alive. I suspect this is probably done to prevent you from being able to shoot them, which is something that can't be done for corpses.
All of you!
On the mission card Libre, you are tasked with shooting down a plane for Martin Madrazo. While the game leads you to believe that you are firing this big gun from the van, taking notice of the white bricks at the bottom of your screen shows that this cannot be so. Using mods, you can find that Michael is actually on the observatory, far distant from the actual placement of the gun while he fires. He of course will teleport back into the van after he has finished shooting down the plane. If you have a wanted level, you can call Dr. Freelander and complete a phone therapy session in order to remove it.
Dr. It's me. How are you? Good, Doc. Not good at all.
Let's speak again soon.
Hey, look. What's going on? How you doing?
In a previous episode, I mentioned how passengers look angry whenever you go over 72 kilometers per hour. It turns out that the car who controls does this as well, and normally you wouldn't notice. This one room in Michael's house that cannot be opened, but on very rare occasions you can hear Jimmy showering in there, which suggests that it is a bathroom.
I'm Jacob. I got the whole heart. I drink eggnog. I'm fat with an X. I'm fat with a P. I'm fat, motherfucker. So don't fuck with me. Rock up and smoke. I think I should smoke. You want to smoke. High protein. I'm high on THC. Easy.
Throughout the shower exists in the house, this being the room's purpose for being inferred from that alone.
I got a car and I live with my mom, but my food and my wives is the ball. You shall get clean. I shall get shit. I'm with the headshot. I'm with the smoker. I'm with the eat.
Bro. There's plenty of fish in the sea.
I know, but it was family problem. It was family problem.
Yeah.
I believe she is the one. It's just that there's stuff going on. I'm gonna keep her like at it, but I do want to have another girlfriend in high school.
High school sweetheart. Ain't
But
no
my
time.
school sucks. They're all bots. The girls in the school are all bots.
Yeah.
Find somebody you know who isn't. Bro, I don't know no girls in the school. None. Or no boys. No girls like me at school. I'm not their type.
Ready up. Ready up.
I'll never be a girl's type.
In my time.
Hey, bitch, I need help though. I need help for another girl. I don't want to move on like right now.
Oh,
But like
no.
soon. Yeah. But soon I'm gonna do move on. It's
Yeah.
not good to move on immediately after a breakup. Like
Yeah.
I need to find a girl that lives close to Virginia. And not just saying that in general, like Zoe was good, but she was very far.
Where was she?
Fantasy. She was in Georgia.
Wow.
Where I go on vacations to every about a couple years.
Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie.
I don't have no fantasy. I don't got no wisdom.
Hello.
Fantasy. I don't got nothing. Fantasy like a night.
Fantasy. Oh yeah. Like a night. Like a night. Oh yeah.
God, that's fantasy.
Oh my god, I need so.
Dude,
I'm
what's the
chopped.
thing? It won't load.
Get up!
Watch me cook on this.
I need help with the fantasy team.
Yeah. So
Oh,
Yeah, look.
okay.
Fantasy team. Oh, hold on.
My chest is hurting. My feet. I'm trouble.
When you do get on eventually, if you want, I can help you fucking everyone. Where you have with
Oh, not the breakup.
really I helped you get with her and give you her step and then start talking. Mm-hmm. You're like the man she talks about you. As long as she said it wasn't me. I knew it wasn't me. I said that it was.
My chest is
I don't care that there's one.
Oh, that's
My
tough.
chest is hurting. My feet can't follow. My symptoms of sorrow and joy. So
You
please.
said I was a good person.
Now then, where did you go? Tell me why.
I'm not winning. I was just there.
Tonight I'm staying with you.
What?
Peter Griffin. What the fuck?
I see you.
This dude is freaking hooked.
Yo, where are you? Do you like? Wait, where is
I'm first?
Joker? You got this. You got this, Joker. Yo. Joker, do you see me over here?
Cannot.
I'm on like.
I have to be funny below.
I'm on your right. I'm on your right. Oh, hello, 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 sir. Hey, we made it, Joker. We made it.
That will be first. I know I would. Is this good?
You might not be first. I don't know. I can't even do any emotes. I don't know why.
Well, I might have someone on Snapchat you can talk to.
Yo, this emote is so good. That emote is so good.
Oh, that's actually.
Yo, Joker.
What grade is he? What grade is he?
He's gonna be an 8th next year.
Yeah, I know. That's fast. That's fast.
Joker.
I was
Joker.
gonna say people that is not in the same grade as me.
Yo, joke. Is
No,
this?
I think you're in the same grade. You're not in the same grade. I'm not in. That's actually good. That's good. That's good. That's good. What's your mom? What's your mom?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yo, that's so that goes hard. That goes hard. Yo, Peter Griffin's such a boss. He's such a boss. I like that. He doesn't even have to get up from his chair. He's just the boss, bro. That doesn't match. That doesn't match.
It doesn't matter. Like, it don't matter that you ain't winning either.
Yo, this guy's chopped.
It's pirate. Yeah, it's fantasy.
Yeah. True.
Bro, mine is so good.
Bro, you're cooking. You're cooking.
Yeah.
Jack.
It's Jackson and one pop as a joke. He said sure as a joke. And then
Bruh. That's pretty cool. Peter Griffin got up.
It's Hulk.
Oh, hello. I have icy feet, mister.
What's wrong?
Yo, thank you, mister. I love you. Oh my gosh. Yo, the unicorn. Oh, that's hard. That's hard. No, I wasn't last time. I was like near the start. It's just random, I think.
Let me do this for folks. Yeah, fine, you're fine, you're fine, don't worry. Okay, let me see, come here, come on. Oh, just a little more.
Godzilla!
Can I ice pack on it?
I don't remember what my glider is.
That's good. I'm the last one.
You got this, Joker. You got this. Pick that good emo. You got this, Joker. Forge the sword. Forge it. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Thank you, coach. Thank you, Peter. Oh shoot, we're in the glider round. We're in the glider round. Peter Griffin's got to be strict on this one. You know, only 6 or only 5 people can go through, so he's got to be real strict. Yeah, that's good. That's good. No, Joker. That's not. Bruh. Yo, you like my contrail? I got the contrail and the glider. Boom, 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 boom. No, it's not. How is that a fail? That was so good.
It's from the same set.
No, it's not.
I wonder how mine was a fail. Oh, man, a fail. What was that?
It's rigged, bro. Vote for the unicorn. Bro, he had that freaking goblin glider, bro.
What about you guys? It's a fish.
What about me? What about me? That's a banana, bro. You're gonna let the banana through.
He lit in a bubble gum. A little bubble gum.
A bubble glum, bro. Vote for the unicorn. Vote for the unicorn. Guys, get over
This dude
here.
had it better. This dude had it better. This dude had it better.
This guy. Alright. Vote for yellow. Vote for yellow. Vote for yellow. Faster,
Go
faster.
for blue. Do not go for blue. Do not go for blue.
Do not vote for blue. Peter Griffin.
He's up. Go for this. Go for this. Give it over the fuck. What? Would have been good too.
Hey, look. Oh, shoot. Yo, I got third place. I got third place. Yo. IGF of 14 years just broke up with me. Oh my god. I'm joking.
I mean, that wasn't the longest relationship I had. We dated 6 months. Hey, my man, 4 months. See, that's same. It's every single 4 months I get broken up.
Bro.
My last girl, no. My first girlfriend, it lasted 4 months. My second one, a day. My third one, 4 months. Bro, let her get 5.
Wait. What was the one that lasted a day?
She was about. I saw her talk to another man the first thing we met.
Bruh.
I was like, red flag. So I love you on the first day. That's an immediate red flag for me. Never in my life you never say.
Never.
On the first day.
Never ever. Give me a... Yo, Joker, I hope you get judged. Joker, you're the judge. Kill that idiot Peter Griffin.
I'm gonna do the thing with y'all.
낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자 그런 반전 있는 여자 나는 선어해 낮에는 너만큼 따사로운 그런 선어해 커피 식기도 전에 원샷 때리는 선어해 밤이 오면 심장이 터져버리는 선어해 그런 선어해 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너
If you make it a little good, I'm gonna kick you out. I'm gonna kick you in.
I can't find a good pickaxe.
Okay, Jacob.
Blue and red, bro. Okay.
Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, Jacob. I think we can do something with it.
I got the perfect contrail for this. Oh my god. I just need a better pickaxe.
Outfit, blazing pickaxe. And then glider and top power. I'm telling you what, June Ford is dead on the spot. His skin is not moving. He is dead on the spot. He's good, it's only pickaxe. I'll let him in there because he's going to go up there. It's a whole set. Oh my god, no, he is a whole set.
I can't find a good pickaxe.